All right. So this is a call for the trip that we'll have in August 19th to 27th, this summer. And so just to start out with this, like sometimes a lot of people don't even know where Oaxaca is or anything about it. So we're going to give you just a little bit of background on this, and Anna is going to walk you through some of these things here.
Okay, so well, today, and I would say a lot, like 10, 15 years ago, Oaxaca has been becoming very, very popular. More and more and more. And there's a reason why Oaxaca is so magnetic and popular because it's a very, very rich state in the southeastern of Mexico. But not just magnetic and rich and magic, but really, really like there's so many things to learn about this state. And the reason why this state is so rich is because we have 16 different indigenous groups existing today. Each of them have their own native language that they are speaking today. They are um, they are located all throughout the state. We're not going to be able to visit all of them, but in the central valleys of Oaxaca, where the Zapotec people live, we're going to be meeting people who still speak Zapotec. So Oaxaca is very, very rich because of this, because of its diversity. And of course, diversity brings richness. And Oaxaca is a very, very old city. 400 years before Christ, the Zapotecs were living here, and then the Spaniards arrived. And so it's a city where you can see so many layers. The trip, I mean, we're based in Oaxaca City, but we're every day traveling to different communities around the city. And so it's like enormous the richness that you can find in this city: colors, textures, murals, painting, textiles, everywhere. The architecture is beautiful. You can see the mix of the old style and the contemporary style. So I think Oaxaca owns its very popular, yeah, like its popularity because it is true. I mean, it's a city where you always, always learn something. I've been living here for 21 years and I'm still every day, like discovering something. There's always unexpected things that happen in the street. So anyway, it is a great place to come and start learning about what Mexico is, what Oaxaca is, but also about textiles. And of course, the richness of the cuisine. Uh, like diversity brings, yeah, the ethnicity or the diversity in terms of ethnicity brings a lot of diversity in all ways. You can see diversity in this state. So during the trip, we're gonna be able to taste many different dishes and many different flavors, which is also part of what we want you to experience when you come to Oaxaca. Not only the textiles, but also the food and the architecture and the landscapes and everything what makes Oaxaca an amazing mosaic. So
So we want to talk a little bit about what we do on this trip, and I think this is about the fifth time we've done it in the last 2.5 years,
it
something
is
like that.
the sixth
The
time.
sixth time, yeah. And
Yeah,
we started in 2023
in
was our
23.
first year, and but we've had
No,
Nana and I.
2022. 2022.
No, 23 because
Ah, yeah,
that's
yeah,
when
yeah,
I
yeah.
moved
See,
back. That's when I sold my
yeah,
house.
that's true. 23.
But we've been talking about it since 2013, and it wasn't until
Exactly.
I moved down here that
That's true.
we like could actually do this, and we really love the trip, and we've had a really wonderful time, and we've had great groups. So like Anna was saying, it's like it's more than just the textile. The textiles is sort of the doorway into talking about the culture and the life and really different ways of thinking about the self and community and our relationships to things. So some of the things we try to do is really work on, being immersed and inspired by the culture and to use hands-on. Like there's something about making, even if you're not a maker yet, there's something about making that is a really meaningful way to make connections with people. It cuts very quickly across language barriers, cultural barriers, age barriers. You sit down and make something with something or learn how to make something from somebody, and all of a sudden you're communicating and you're working as individuals rather than, just kind of seeing from the outside. It's much more, it creates an intimacy, I think, that's different. And we really like the idea of sharing in both directions, where we kind of, we want to see what they're doing, and sometimes we try to show what we're doing as well. We have a party at the end where we invite all of the artisans to come to the farewell party. Sometimes they live too far away and they can't, but they really like that kind of interaction in both directions. I just want to really quick on this picture. I just want to tell you, because the guy on the left, Pachan, he is from Gujarat in India, and he was up in the Silk Village with us, where they speak Zapotec and Spanish, and Pachan spoke no English and no Spanish whatsoever. And they managed to have a 2-day, 3-day workshop with each other, communicating just through the making. It was one of the more interesting things I think I've ever. I was the interpreter there for like 25 people, and there was nobody that could speak both the Spanish and Gujarat. They had to go through into English. Anyway, it was very complicated, but the connection was really beautiful. So we think about that sharing and hands-on and learning from each other. But then also something we've really been noticing, especially in the last year or so, that having time to kind of step away from the kind of craziness and take time to relax and to reflect is something that sort of is a very important thing kind of personally to do. And we found that it helps people calm down and just kind of far from the maddening crowd, so to speak. So this tour is called Woven Lives Following the Thread. And it comes from back in 2010, I made a documentary about the weavers here. At that time, Ana Paula was the director of the Textile Museum, and I connected with her. So I had some artisans I knew, some she introduced me to. The museum was a big part of me being able to make this documentary. And when we decided we wanted to do these tours, what we wanted to do is go back and revisit those same people. So all of the people that we'll be visiting are people that were part of the film. And it's really interesting because the film sort of captures what it was like, you know, uh, 16 years ago now. And then you kind of follow up with the people where they are now. And so there's this, they've been watching what we've been doing, and we've been friends with these guys and working with them and colleagues and working on projects with them over the last 16 years too. So we know all of them very well. And then we go back and visit them. So we start the first night out by watching the film together. So we go through it, and we'll go through and watch the film, and we'll talk a little bit about this is what we'll be doing tomorrow, and you'll see how this has changed or that has changed. And then we go have a dinner together on the first night. And then the next day we go to backstrap weaving. And Anna, you want to talk about the next couple of ones?
Yeah. So the first day, our formal first day, we're gonna be leaving the city, and we're gonna go to Santo Tomás Jalesa, where they make the backstrap loom. But it's a very unique backstrap loom because it has a rigid heddle. So it's not like the rest of the backstrap looms that women use in the rest of the state. So it's a very unique technique, and they make these beautiful belts. And we're gonna visit Abigail Mendoza and her family. And well, you're gonna be mm, like impressed about what they make with these looms.
Mhm.
And yeah, so that's for the first day, and then we're gonna have lunch in a beautiful outdoors restaurant near this town. But this day is focused on the backstrap loom and meeting this family who are all women working together and weaving together.
And Asaya, you had your hand up. Do you have a question?
Yeah, I do. Can you go back to that previous picture?
Okay.
Because
Uh-oh.
mm, um, I'm curious about, no,
Oh
not
no, it's going the wrong way. Hold on.
run the wrong way. Sorry. So sorry. Like, look
That's
at me
okay.
making you have to
Usually
do
I
all
hit the
kinds of
buttons,
stuff.
but sometimes PowerPoint when I'm sharing doesn't do exactly what I think it's going to do. So
That's
continue
okay.
to share. Okay, this
Okay.
one, yes.
So the way she is kneeling,
Yeah.
am I gonna have to do that? Because
No,
his body doesn't do that very well.
no.
No, 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 no.
Okay, good. All right,
This
thank
one
We're
is
you.
not
a
gonna.
visit, not a hands-on. So on
Yeah,
this
no,
one.
no. No, the backdrop loom, it's very, very, very complicated.
Yeah.
So, I mean, if you want to take a workshop, it's minimum 5 days to just learn how to set the loom and how to start working. So, no, no, don't worry. You're not gonna be, I mean, you can watch and observe, and then if you're really curious about it, and if you have extra time after the tour, you can ask Abigail to give you a workshop
Uh-huh.
and she can give you a loom and try weaving. Why not?
Mhm.
But on our tour, this day, we're not gonna put our hands on the loom. It's just
Yeah.
like observing and asking questions and really like trying to understand how it works because for me, it's still like a mystery.
So you can see this is just a, for
Incredible.
those of you that do weave, this is just basically it's just a single, they're threading, there's one up, one down, and they're using fingers, a pickup with their fingers to make all that pattern. So their fingers move along, they're like a piano player, just like zooming along, picking threads up while they're sitting there talking to you. It's pretty impressive. So, and then this is a detail of some of what you will see. And then, go ahead, Anna, you want to keep the,
Yeah,
yeah.
and after lunch, we're gonna visit a workshop where they make the very famous alebrijes, which are these uh, wood carved figures that are very famous in Oaxaca. And it's really impressive also how they make these super laborious figures. And this is a place where everybody who comes to Oaxaca goes to San Martin Tilcajete to see the alebrijes. And the restaurant that we're gonna have lunch at that day is in this town.
Mhm.
So we're like just like making the most of our visit there. And yeah, and Carolyn and I will we think that again, like textiles are the doorway to learn more about Oaxaca because when you are here, you want to learn about everything. Even if you are just like textile people, it's really impressive what you
Fascinating.
can learn about yeah, about Oaxaca through all its handicrafts.
Mhm. So do you want to go ahead and do the silk too?
Yeah, and then the day two, we're gonna go to San Pedro Cajonos, which is in the mountains in the Sierra Norte, in the northern Sierra of Oaxaca, where they also speak Zapotec. And we're going to visit a collective or a cooperative of weavers who, well, they raise their own silk worms and they grow their mulberry trees and they make all the process to get the silk threads to then weave amazing beautiful garments with silk and they also use natural dyes so we're gonna get to learn all the process which is really incredible and we're gonna have a natural dye workshop using the very the representative dyes that they use there in the community and so we're going to spend the whole day there until 4:30 o'clock and then we will come back to the city. It's a not a long ride but it's the longest ride that we're going to take. It's around 3 hours. We're going to stop in the mountains to have breakfast in a beautiful site viewing where there's a bridge and you can see all the mountains from there and all the valleys from there and so that's like an excursion more than a day trip it's an excursion and it's a beautiful
Yeah.
building you will see it and we will have time to talk about that building
Mhm.
so yeah that's our day two.
And then on the third day, we go out to Mitla, which is a very old Zapotec and Mixtec ruin. And we'll visit Rodrigo Hernandez and his family who do like fly shuttle weaving. So it's like it's more production weaving. They do more yardage rather than individual pieces. But it's in the same town where these where these ruins are. And if any of you got are weavers, like when I saw these the first time, I was like, that's a building with weaving drafts on it. It looks totally like a section out of my weaving drafts that I would have done. And we'll visit them and their family. And the three kids are all involved in the business now. One of them runs the business part. Their son, who was just a 5-year-old, I think, when I did the film, is now a really accomplished weaver. As you can see, he's doing for those of you that are weavers, you can see he's doing hand inlay with those, and that's all natural dyes on cotton of the work that he's doing there. And so they're really a fascinating, really funny family to work with. They love telling stories, and it's always a really fun day. And then Anna, you want to do Bidao?
Yeah, and then on our fourth day, we're gonna leave the city of Oaxaca and we're gonna spend 3 days in Tetitlán del Valle, which is a Zapotec town, like 35 minutes far from Oaxaca City, a beautiful town in the outskirts of the Sierra Norte, of the Northern Sierra. Well, Teotitlán del Valle is very famous because of its wool rocks. And so we're going to visit, we're going to stay there 2 nights. And the first day on Sunday, we're going to visit this cooperative, which is really, really like unique because they've been dyeing with natural dyes since 30 years ago. And they are the only ones in the whole town who have a green garden or a huerto where they grow their own plants to dye their textiles. So I met them when we started the Textile Museum of Oaxaca, and the innovations and the growth that they have had since then, it's really incredible. And we're gonna be able to visit their huerto, the place where they plant their um, where they grow their plants. And that day we're gonna overnight in Teotitlán del Valle. Well, and we're gonna have a natural dye workshop there with this cooperative in Teotitlán. And the day after, we're going to visit Tito Mendoza, who is a master tapestry weaver, who we've known also for many, many years. And so you're gonna have a hands-on workshop. Every one of you will have a frame. You say like a frame weave,
Yeah.
a frame loom. And you will set up the loom, and Tito will show you all the different techniques that they use to make the rocks in the tapestry weaving.
Mhm.
And we're going to have a family meal. Yeah, well, a family meal in the night, but for lunch, we're gonna have lunch at where Tito was born in his home. How do you say hometown? No, in his
Yeah.
home.
Well, this is the dinner time that night, but
Yeah,
well, the lunch we got Raina after this, so we'll go do
yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, so I won't.
So
I
we
won't
have
come to
dinner. We're
them.
gonna have dinner at their house. We're staying over in Teotitlan for 2 nights, and there's just not very many restaurants. So we're gonna go to the one restaurant that there is, and then the other one we're gonna go to Tito and Allie's house for dinner that
Which
night.
is a beautiful house.
It's great,
And
yeah.
the reason why we been staying in Totitlan for 2 nights is also because it really feels like you can feel the ambient
Different.
and what living in a town feels like. It's a
Mhm.
beautiful town. It's really, really quiet, very calm. And we're gonna be Sunday, Monday, and Tuesday, and also during the weekdays. It's a very like live town, and so staying there feels like very different, like to be in the city.
Mhm. And then the third day in Teotitlan, we're going to have a cooking class with Reina Mendoza. This is Tito's sister. She's also very famous. Like, I don't remember the name of all the famous chefs, but they all, like Rick Bayless from Chicago, and I can't remember the other ones, but many, many, many people come down to take classes from her on how to cook. And but we're going to have classes with her, and we start the day going to the local market that's down the street, and we shop for all the ingredients, and then come back and and make a lunch. And people have this is the weaving workshop. I should have had that slide back one. So, but you can see the frame looms, and then we're all working in this, the family compound. And that's the same place where the cooking class is in the same place. So the third day in Teotitlan, you actually have a choice. You can stay weaving if you want to, or you can take the cooking class. And you can go either way. We just need to know ahead of time. We'll let you know when that once you're signed up and everything, we'll help you get set up for that. But the whole family helps out. This is the brother that's helping wind warps and things. And then we have a really lovely meal with that we make with Reina. And then the last day we wind up in Oaxaca City, kind of looking at, because there's a lot of tradition here, but there's also an awful lot of like mix of traditional and contemporary. And that's what I find like super fascinating here is it's not, the tradition, it isn't something that's just locked in the past and used to happen. It's not like going to like Williamsburg, where what is that, old town Williamsburg or something, where everything is like, this is how they used to do everything 500 years ago. But there's a lot of stuff that they're doing every day still that is a lot like what they did, 300 or 400 years ago. But then they might also be sitting right next to it or applying it to something that's super contemporary. So that mix of new and old is something that I always find really fascinating here. So when we go through the city, we'll see things like that. There's a lot of printmaking going on. There's a lot of music going on. There's a lot of innovation. And Anna, you want to talk about these two?
Yeah, well, we're gonna visit the Textile Museum of Oaxaca, where I worked for 6 years, and I'll give you like the background of why we founded this museum, which was the first textile museum in the whole country of Mexico. And then we're gonna go and visit Remigio Mestas to his showroom. Remigio has been an ally of the Textile Museum, and I would say for all the artisans in Oaxaca, he's been an incredible entrepreneur, facilitator, and promoter of the textile arts in Oaxaca. And so we're gonna have the really like the privilege to listen to him because he's like a poet. I mean, he really feels the textiles, and he's gonna tell us a lot about why Oaxaca has been, yeah, like the hub of the textiles in Mexico, and how he has been promoting and supporting the artisans to improve their textiles and to really make the Mexicans use them, no? So anyway, he will tell you the story about his project. And then finally, we will finish at Carolyn's studio,
Uh-huh.
which is
Oh, I don't have a picture of it.
incredible.
It looks like this.
Well,
I'm in my studio now. No.
Oaxaca
That's
has a
not the
beautiful,
downstairs where we have the party.
Carolyn has a beautiful house in Oaxaca, and his dream was to turn this house into a place where people can come and have workshops and parties and exchange and make things. And it's been, I think, her dream came true. And of course, we use her studio for all our trips. You're gonna love it. And it's like a live museum because she has many textiles in her house. So well, so those are the 6 days that we're gonna be absolutely focused on yeah, traveling and visiting all these artisans that show up in the film.
And we're interested too in like not just what it looks like at this moment, but really like thinking back 16 years or even further back than 16 years, like how have things changed and then how are things changing now? And like people like Remigio and the museum are really important things to think about. There's been kind of a renaissance of things here, especially within the textiles and with other things too, and really trying to kind of break down why that happened and what sorts of things are helping to support that, and how to support that in a way that supports the people living here and the cultures that are here. So then for some logistical things, you'll be staying at a hotel close next door to El Llano, which is a park that there's a lot going on there. There's often parades. There's parades all over the place. It's just walking distance to the Santo Domingo, which is a big like cathedral, and the Zocalo is not too far. So you can basically walk to anything. We pick you up every day, except for our walking tour day. We pick you up with the van and take you where you're going to go and bring you back every day. But it's a nice place in the evenings when you have time off. It's very easy to walk around. There's, within this whole area here, there's can't even tell you how many restaurants are there and how many Michelin restaurants are there. I mean, but you don't even have to go to Michelin restaurants to get a really great meal. But that we're getting a lot of PR internationally about, especially about the food and the textiles lately. So there's a lot of options. So this is what the hotel looks like. It's like an old mansion, and again, it's just across the street from a large park. There's a big area in the center where you can go and sit and hang out, and there's a restaurant in there. And our first night, we show the movie over up in this corner here, and that starts off our trip together. And then we'll go up to, let's see if the other stuff is on here. When we go to Jaliesa, we go down this valley. Everything's valleys here. So you do things in lines of, where they're, if they're in line of where you're going. So we go down this way to Jaliesa and also to Tilcajete, and then we go out this way. Mitla is out this way, and then Teotitlan is here. In Teotitlan, we're going to stay there 2 nights. And this is the place where we stay in Teotitlan. The one thing that their rooms there do not have any single rooms. They're all double rooms. So even if you sign up for a single, that means for when you're staying in Oaxaca that there's a bed for everybody. Nobody has to share a bed, but we do have to double up in the rooms when we're there. But we have the whole place. No one else stays there but us. She makes a wonderful breakfast for us every morning. And we do deal a lot with people with different food issues, and we can mostly work around those pretty well. So the cost for the trip is the single occupancy. Again, in Oaxaca, you'll have single occupancy, but it'll be double when we're in Teotitlan 2 nights. And the cost for double occupancy. And then if you're local, like if you're here anyway and you're staying, or you find someplace else to stay, then the price goes down as well. And included are like 3 breakfasts the day we go out to Cajonos, and then the 2 breakfasts in Teotitlan. Breakfast is included. Every day we have lunch, and they're always really good. And we have 4 dinners, our welcome dinner and our farewell dinner, and then the 2 nights in Teotitlan we cover dinner too. Anytime we're all eating together, it's much easier to just put the dinner into the group. So there's no separate checks, and nobody ever has change. And even normally, nobody have change in Oaxaca. So it also covers all the transportation, like to and from all the sites that we go to. It pays for, we pay all of the artisans for the workshops, for the materials. Anything that's part of the workshop, all the workshops or the demos gets covered. And then again, the lodging both in Oaxaca and Teotitlan. And as we just said, the both mornings in Cajonos. And then, so there's the 4 dinners. On the meals, the alcohol is not included. So that you're on your own on that. But, and then other meals on the other nights when you're around, it gives you an opening to like go out and explore in Oaxaca, because the food here is really excellent and it's worth we try to get you to try, we try to make it so there's a lot of different things available so you can try different stuff. But then the nights out, como?
No, and we're gonna give you a list of the restaurants that you can try and all the shops, and so that you have like all the best suggestions from us.
Yeah. A lot of people either add on a day before the trip or a day after, because a lot of times the airfare is like the most expensive, and some people stay a couple days after, and then you can do more exploration. But we give you the list ahead of time, so if you should come early, you might find some things that you want to do a day or two. Very often, several people on a trip that don't know each other show up early, and they all like go to Monte Alban or something like that. But we put you all on a group WhatsApp chat so people can connect with each other. And usually it's a pretty tight group by the time we're all done. So, and that's like the end of what we had to tell you. So questions. Asaya.
Yes. How many artists or facilitators did you say that we would be engaging with? I kind of lost track, but the reason I'm asking is I'm going to be making little quilted postcards to give as
Uh-huh.
thank yous for each of the places we
Oh, that's
go. And I
lovely.
just want to make sure that I have enough.
I
We
have
we
to,
will tell you the right number because right now, I mean, maybe
we had to
Carolyn can
think
count.
because sometimes we hit more than
Yeah,
one
but
person.
we will definitely tell you the right number. And thank
Okay.
you. They will love that. Really, really
Okay.
love that.
Yeah, that is
Awesome. Thank you.
that's lovely.
Yeah,
Yeah.
thank you.
Mm. But we need to sit and think because sometimes we might forget somebody. So, yeah. Anybody else have a question? I'm going to turn this back. Okay, Ruthie, and I'm going to unshare so we can all see each other again. Okay, there we go. Ruthie, you want to go ahead?
We're going to come in early. So what is the extra hotel cost?
We will set, if you're gonna, you'll have to set up the reservations with the hotel, but we can give you the name of the place where you'll be staying and then you can contact them. I don't know off the top of my head what the nightly rate is. So, but we can give you that information and you can write to them and set that up. Okay. But it's people that do it are very happy that they're either a couple days ahead or a couple days after or
Mhm.
both.
Yes.
Because by the end, you know more stuff. It's like, oh, I want to go back and go see that, you know?
Yeah.
So, and the
And
other thing about coming one day early is like, and we used to tell people that before the current situation, is that airfare, airlines are sometimes, uh, the flights are late and stuff like that. And like now that seems like a crazy thing to say because they're really bad now. So we'll see. So if you come in a day early, then if there's trouble with flights and stuff, it's not a problem. If you can, you don't have to. A lot of people come in the same night. So, but we do
and
start at 5 o'clock on is it the 17th? Yeah,
I thought it was the 19th.
19th. Yeah. I have to write things down because. Okay, and then it looks like Jordana, you just got in. Do you want to jump on and say hi? She wrote a note there, but you're on mute if you're going to say hi. You have to unmute yourself. There you go.
Hi, I'm
Hi.
Jordana. I'm
Hi,
really
how are
looking
you?
forward to the trip.
Where-
I'm from just outside of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada, and I teach textiles to high school students here.
Oh, awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
so
glad
I've
someone's
always,
teaching high school, teaching textiles at high school.
yeah, I know it's quite the dying art.
Yeah.
Um, yeah, and so both my mom and my grandmas were always into fiber and textiles, and I went to university for fashion design, and my whole world now is just sewing and knitting and crocheting and weaving and yeah, anything fiber, like sign me up.
That's great.
Well,
That's
we're
good.
gonna come like to the Disneyland of textiles.
It is like little kids know about textiles here. It's
Yeah,
crazy. It's
it's
Oh,
incredible.
crazy. It's
that's
Yeah, it's
everywhere.
amazing.
beautiful.
Yeah. Yeah. I think,
Nice.
yeah.
Amazing. Well, thank you so much.
Yeah.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes, I look forward to meeting you all.
That would be great.
Great.
So are there any other people have questions about anything or
Okay.
comments?
I
Yeah.
have a quick question.
Uh-huh.
So, I don't speak any Spanish.
Uh-huh.
How important is it
Yeah.
to know some language?
It's most people we will be with do not speak English, but I would say probably half the people that come on the trip speak little to no Spanish. So Anna and I are both fluent. We also know people really well, and sometimes we, we can help connect up with the conversations when you want to have some. It's one of those things like if you have it, it's really fun because you get a chance to talk to people, and like maybe we're over here looking at the silkworms and somebody's over here spinning and you can go ask questions by yourself. But it's also really interesting to see how well people communicate without the language, especially when it comes to making and physical stuff going on. It's actually pretty interesting to see how well people can communicate without it. So it's not at all required, but
No.
if you have it, you'll definitely get chance to learn it and use it. But it's also it's totally fine. We
Yeah,
translate
we
everything all
translate
through. There's two of
everything.
us, and yeah.
Yeah, normally, I mean, we have had people who speak very well Spanish and people who have no single idea of Spanish, and it works perfect.
Uh-huh.
I mean, everything that we do within the tour is in English, the communication, WhatsApp, everything, everything. But when we are with the people from Oaxaca, the local people, Carolyn and I, we always translate everything. And then the people who speak Spanish, who are in the tour, they are also
Yeah.
most of the times great supporters. So, I mean, if we happen to have someone who speaks Spanish, that will be great. But if not, no worries at all.
Yeah.
We will. That's actually aim is that you can really like get the best, like experience. So Carolyn speaks perfect Spanish. I mean, I don't speak perfect English. She doesn't speak
Well,
perfect
we
Spanish,
can get
but
by.
enough to get to
We're
to
both
get a
fluent.
conversation. Some days my
Together, you're perfect.
Yeah, together we're totally.
some days my English is having margarita somewhere, having vacation somewhere. I don't know. I just came back from Chiapas from a tour. 6 days speaking English, and today is like, I think my English stay in Chiapas. Because, but yeah, no worries, Bailey. We will support you in whatever you need
Mhm.
when Spanish has to come in.
And we have a
It's
lot of
good to
tips.
know.
We do another Zoom call like about 3 or 4 weeks before the trip. And on that we go over a lot of things like what to do about money, how to get
Yeah.
it out of banks and to call taxis and how to get on the WhatsApp. And so we do another really logistical one, but that's like just a couple, 3 weeks before you go. If we gave it all to you now, nobody'd remember it. And some people are still figuring out if they want to go or not. So when you're all ready and just about to come, then we'll go through with some really specific things that are helpful for getting around. And Anna does a lot of tours with other groups. I do a bunch of other tours with Kim and with Miriam, and between us, we've brought hundreds and hundreds of people down here. And so we kind of, have a pretty good sense of what are the things that people run into that are kind of a hassle. And we try to let you know ahead of time, to do this or that. And that usually will help you have a little bit smoother landing and getting through things.
Yeah.
Where can we find your other tours?
The other tours, there's Traveling Traders Bazaar has a whole list of all the, there's a weaving workshop, or what do you call it? Mushroom dyeing workshop. There's an
Hmm.
embroidery workshop. There's what else? The Chiapas tour that Anna just
Chiapas.
finished. And Anna does some other ones. I also do some custom tours. Like if there's a group of like 10 people that want something that's very different, or they want it at a different time than the ones that we like make. We do some where we make them and put them out there and find people to fill. And then sometimes there's a group that wants to bring a group down, and we can make a special one for them too. But Traveling Traders Bazaar has a lot of that, or contact Anna or myself for something that's
Hmm.
like
I'm gonna
a
write the
custom
website
tour.
here.
Uh-huh.
Travelers.
Yeah, the Traveling Traders Bazaar is a good one. It's got a bunch of them listed. There's a bunch of mushroom tours. Kim and her husband do mushroom tours too, just mushroom foraging too. So yeah.
That sounds amazing.
Yeah.
I'm writing it down. I want
Yeah.
to learn more.
There's a lot. I mean, that's like, I finally just had to move down here because I kept coming down and I always wanted to stay longer and I could never do all the stuff I want to do. It's finally like, I'm just going to move down there. So, and I still can't see everything and go do everything there is to do. Yeah. So, any other questions?
Okay.
Well, I want to say thank you for bringing us all together and for sharing the information you shared. And it's more real this way and
Yeah.
get our
Yeah.
excitement
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
fun to
we
see the
hope that
photos, isn't it? Yeah.
we hope that this gives you like a wider no sense of what the trip is. And yeah, and even though we've done this trip, like this is gonna be the sixth time, it's always different because the
Mhm.
people makes the tour. I mean, even if we visit the same artisans, the group, no, that travels together is always different, and it's really exciting. Also for us, always to meet different people from different
Yeah.
backgrounds. It's really, really exciting. I mean, textiles is what gather us. It's the excuse
Uh-huh.
to travel. So
Great.
thank you for joining us.
Yeah.
Thank you
Oh,
so
I
much.
like the hearts. That's
Thank you. Take care.
well, thank you
Bye.
so
Goodbye.
much. And
Bye.
if you're planning on going and you haven't signed up, I would do it pretty soon. It's getting fairly full. It's not sold out yet, but I don't know if with the numbers, if everybody here did, I don't remember exactly where it is at, but I think we're at least, we're more than halfway at this point.
Well, how
So,
many
and some of you,
people?
I think, are already signed up. So, yeah,
Our groups are small, so
yeah,
10,
yeah.
11, it's like because we don't want to
We don't want
travel
15 people.
in
It's
big
too much.
groups because we like a very intimate
Mhm.
experience. So yeah, 10, 11, it's been like the how do you say? The
The limit, yeah.
yes,
I